Good morning, dear one. I want to start this morning with a question that most people have never been asked, and that once you hear it, you cannot unhear. What is your current assumption about money? Not what you believe about money consciously, not what you say you believe. The assumption that runs underneath the quiet, habitual, largely invisible state from which you relate to wealth every day. Because here is what Neville Goddard understood about money that almost no one else was saying in his time, and that almost no one says clearly even now. Your financial reality is not a product of your actions. It is not a product of your circumstances, your background, your economy, your opportunities, or your effort. It is a product of your assumption. The assumption you are holding about money, about what you deserve, about what is available to you, about whether abundance is something that happens to people like you, that assumption is the cause. Everything you see in your financial life right now is the effect. An accurate, faithful, completely impersonal reflection of what you have been assuming. Not punishing you, not rewarding you, reflecting you. With perfect accuracy, which means one thing with enormous implications. If you change the assumption, the reflection must change. By law, not might, not possibly, must. You do not have to earn your way into a different financial life. You do not have to hustle into it, or wait for it, or deserve your way into it. You have to assume your way into it. And you have to do that from the inside out, not from the outside in. This is the practice of living in the end of abundance. Not visualizing getting rich, inhabiting the consciousness of someone who simply already is. Now, you might be thinking, I've heard about the law of attraction, I've done the vision boards, I've said the affirmations, and my bank account looks exactly the same. Let me tell you about James. James was 46 years old, a project manager. He had a stable income, a decent life, but a persistent, suffocating sense that money was always slightly out of reach. Not disaster, just never quite enough. Never quite free. The background hum of financial anxiety that becomes so normal you forget it wasn't always there. James had tried positive thinking, he had tried gratitude practices, he had tried goal setting and budgeting, and every rational tool available to a precise, practical man. Nothing moved the background hum. When he encountered Neville's teaching, specifically the idea that abundance is not attracted but assumed, James did something very simple. Every morning, for 60 seconds, he practiced the feeling of already having enough. Not visualizing millions, not imagining a specific bank balance, simply the feeling in his body of the specific ease that belongs to a person for whom money is not a source of anxiety. The ease of someone who simply has enough. He held that feeling for 60 seconds and then went to work. Within 90 days, 3 things changed that he had not strategized, engineered, or planned. A project he had been managing produced an unexpected outcome that led to a significant bonus. A debt he had been carrying was restructured in a way he hadn't pursued. And an idea arriving, he said, almost out of nowhere one morning, became a small additional income stream that is still running today. James did not attract money. He changed his assumption about money, and the law responded to the new assumption with the same faithfulness it had been responding to the old one. Here is what surprised James most, what almost no one tells you about assuming abundance. I'll share it before we close. First, let us settle in. Find your position. Let your body settle. Place one hand on your chest. Feel the warmth of your own hand, the steady presence of your own heartbeat beneath it. This morning, we are not going to ask the universe for anything. We are not going to beg, petition, or visualize our way towards something. We are going to assume there is a profound difference. Asking comes from lack, from the position of someone who does not yet have what they want. Assuming comes from consciousness, from the position of someone who has already claimed the state. This morning, you are not asking for abundance. You are assuming the consciousness of someone who already lives in it. Take a slow breath. In 2, 3, 4, 5, hold it softly and release. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let your body relax. Before we begin the framework, I want you to bring to mind the specific quality of financial ease you are choosing to assume. Not a number, not a lifestyle image, the specific felt quality of someone who simply has enough, who does not lie awake worrying, who makes choices from security rather than scarcity. Hold that quality lightly, not grasping, simply present. We are going to walk through 7 chambers of that consciousness together. And in each chamber, I am going to ask you not to picture abundance, but to feel what it is like to already live in it. Let's begin. The first chamber is the understanding that changes everything. Abundance is not a condition of the outer world, it is a condition of consciousness. It exists first in the inner world and the outer world follows. This is not a comforting idea. It is a precise and somewhat demanding one, because it removes the excuse. If abundance is consciousness, then the reason you do not yet have the abundance you desire is not your circumstances, your background, your economy, your bad luck, or the people who have wronged you. It is your assumption, and only your assumption. This is uncomfortable precisely because it is empowering. Once you accept it fully, there are no more external obstacles to manage. There is only one thing to do: change what you are assuming. Neville wrote, "Poverty is a wallet full of other people's beliefs, not a condition, a collection of inherited assumptions that you have been accepting as true." What would it feel like to lay that wallet down? To simply stop carrying the assumptions about what is available to you, about whether you are the kind of person who gets to have this, about whether money flows to you or always slightly away from you, to set all of that down and assume, instead, the consciousness of someone who simply lives in abundance. Feel that for a moment, the lightness of it, not the excitement of wealth, the relief of simply no longer carrying the weight of scarcity as your baseline. That relief, that is the first step into the first chamber. I am not carrying scarcity anymore. That was an assumption. I am choosing a different one. The second chamber is where most people get it wrong. They try to feel rich, they try to feel wealthy, they try to feel the excitement of having more than they need. Neville would say, that is still coming from the outside. That is still the feeling of receiving, which implies you did not previously have. The target feeling is simpler, more interior, more settled. It is a feeling of simply having enough, not luxury, not excess. The specific quiet ease of someone who does not check their bank account with anxiety, who pays a bill and does not feel a contraction in their chest, who makes a small purchase without a background calculation of whether they can afford it, the ease of enough, the ordinary Tuesday of a person who simply financially is okay. That is the feeling the law responds to most powerfully. Not the peak, the baseline. Because the baseline is where you live. The baseline is the assumption. Feel it now. Let your body have the specific ease of someone for whom money is not a source of fear, not for a special reason, simply as their ordinary financial reality. That ease. That is the second chamber. You and money have a relationship. Like all relationships, it is shaped by assumption. Most people's relationship with money is one of chronic tension. The money that arrives is never quite enough. The money that leaves always seems to leave too fast. There is a constant undercurrent, not always conscious of money, as something that is slightly against you. That requires effort to keep. That is managed, not received. What would it feel like if that relationship had changed? Not if you were suddenly richer, if the relationship itself had shifted, if money felt, in the background of your days, like something that was simply flowing, available, not hoarded and anxious, simply present and moving and replenishing. the consciousness of someone who has a natural, easy relationship with money. Neville taught that money, like all things in the outer world, responds to your inner relationship with it. Not to your work, not to your strategy, but to your assumption about its nature and its relationship to you. If you assume it is scarce, it behaves scarcely. If you assume it flows, it flows. In this chamber, we are choosing the second assumption. My relationship with money has changed. Money flows to me naturally, easily, consistently. I do not hoard it in anxiety. I do not chase it in desperation. It simply moves through my life as a natural and reliable current. Feel that relationship, even a small version of it, the ease of it, the absence of the tension you usually carry about money. That is Chamber 3. There is a very specific thing that changes when someone moves from scarcity consciousness to abundance consciousness. It is not the amount in their bank account, at least, not at first. It is the position from which they make decisions. A person living in scarcity consciousness makes choices from contraction, from the question, can I afford this? Should I? What if I can't? What if it goes wrong? Every decision made from that position reinforces the scarcity assumption. The law faithfully responds. A person living in abundance consciousness makes choices from expansion, from the position of someone who trusts that resources are available, that the right decisions will be supported, that acting from values rather than fear is possible. Not recklessness, clarity. The specific, grounded clarity of someone who chooses from security rather than anxiety. In this chamber, let yourself feel what it is like to be that person today. You have a decision to make, any decision, small or significant, and you are making it from security, from the assumption that enough is available, from expansion rather than contraction. What is the quality of that decision-making? How does your body feel when you are choosing from a place of enough? Let that quality be present right now. That is Chamber 4. This chamber is the one James discovered the surprise he wanted to share. When he changed his assumption, the abundance that arrived did not come through the channels he expected. The bonus, the debt restructure, the idea, none of them were part of a plan. Neville called this the bridge of incidents. The assumption creates the end, the law creates the bridge. And the bridge is always built from materials and through routes that the conscious mind would not have designed. This means one crucial thing: do not script the path. When you assume abundance, do not decide how it will arrive. Do not limit the law to your imagination of what is possible. Your imagination is creative, but it is small compared to the intelligence of the law working without constraint. Simply assume the end, the feeling of living in abundance, the ordinary ease of enough, and release all ideas about the root. The root is the law's work, the end is yours. In this chamber, feel the openness of not knowing how, the relief of not having to engineer it, the trust of someone who has planted the assumption and is willing to be surprised by the bridge. That openness, that trust, that is Chamber 5. Close your eyes if they're not already closed. Take a slow breath and let your body settle. I want you to feel a morning from the life in which abundance is simply your reality. You have woken up. It is an ordinary morning. Nothing remarkable has happened. Abundance is simply the air you breathe in this life, the background tone. What is the first sensation in this morning? Not dramatic, the ordinary, unremarkable feeling of waking up in a life where financial ease is simply your baseline. Does your body feel different? Less held, perhaps? Less braced for what the day might demand? What is your first thought in this morning? Not about money specifically, just the quality of the first thought. The thought of someone who is financially simply okay, who begins the day without the background anxiety that has become so familiar it feels like weather. Let this morning be real in your body right now. The quality of the light, the ease in your chest, the unremarkable, ordinary beginning of a day in an abundant life. Stay here. Now, somewhere in this morning, there is a moment, a small, ordinary financial moment. Perhaps you look at something or make a small decision or notice a number somewhere, and the feeling that arises is not anxiety, not relief, simply normalcy. The normalcy of someone for whom this is simply their life. Let that normalcy be present right now in your body as your current state. This is the assumption of abundance, this ordinary morning, this unremarkable ease. Stay in it. The seventh chamber is not a scene or a feeling, it is a knowing. The knowing that the assumption has been made, the seed has been planted, the law has received it. You do not need to check on it. You do not need to monitor the outer world for signs. You do not need to measure the distance between where you are today and where you are assuming yourself to be. Simply know. The assumption of abundance is in your consciousness now. The law will build the bridge. The outer world will shift in its own timing, through routes you cannot yet see to match what you have assumed. Your job today is simply not to undo it, not to return to the scarcity assumption the moment you close this video, not to open your phone and feel the old contraction and call it reality. The old contraction is the old assumption, and you are choosing a new one. Say with me, abundance is my natural state. I am assuming it now. I do not attract wealth. I inhabit its consciousness. The law has received my assumption. The bridge is forming. I release the how. I trust the law. It is already done. Let us move through all 7 chambers one final time quickly as declarations, as the state you are carrying into your day. I do not carry scarcity. That was an assumption. I have chosen a different one. Abundance is consciousness, and I am choosing abundance consciousness now. I feel the ordinary ease of enough, not luxury ease. The background of my life is financial security. This is my assumed state. My relationship with money has changed. Money flows to me naturally, easily, as a reliable and consistent current. I make choices from security. I act from expansion, not contraction. My decisions come from the position of someone who has enough. I do not script the bridge. Abundance arrives through routes I have not imagined and need not manage. The law is more creative than my plans. I trust it. I woke up this morning in an abundant life. This is unremarkable. This is ordinary. This is simply mine. It is already done. The assumption is in. The law has received it. The bridge is forming. I release the how. I trust the law. One final breath. Full. Easy. The breath of someone who has planted something real. Your daily practice for abundance, 3 steps, 60 seconds. Step 1. Before you open any financial app, any news, any number, place your hand on your chest. 60 seconds of choosing the assumption before the outer world gets to set your state. Step 2. Feel the ordinary ease of enough, not luxury. The unremarkable baseline of a person for whom money is simply not a source of fear. 30 seconds of that feeling, honestly held. Step 3, release it. Go into your day from that state, not announcing it, not forcing it, simply carrying it as the quiet background of your consciousness. The state you carry into your morning becomes the lens through which you see every opportunity, every conversation, every potential bridge the law is constructing. Carry it well. It is finished. It is done. And so it is.